Hi, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Chic Crochet by Jenny. I'm super excited to teach you how to make this beautiful star stitch sweater. Just wanted to show you briefly how this sweater is made. So we make the front panel and the back panel. They are exactly the same, and we will crochet the length of the sweater, and we will include the waistline in the length. So that means we are working this way and that way when we are crocheting, and then we will turn it and it will go this way. So the stripes will go this way. It will be stripes of stars and half double crochets, and there will be 2 rows of stars, and then we will have 5 rows of half double crochets, and it will be a repetition as many times as you need till you get the desired width of your sweater. Then we will also make the arms, which will be attached later on, and they will look more or less like this with the cuffs. So here the waistline, the ribbed look, is included in the whole row of crochet stitches. Here with the arms, since I do an increase, I prefer to work the cuffs first, so they will be worked in a long line like this, up and down, up and down. And then I will go back and forth, making the star stitches and the half double crochets, which allow me to, after a while, make it wider so it won't be too snug in your armpits. And then finally, when we assemble the whole thing, we will start or finish with the neckline as well, using the same technique as we did with the cuffs. So we make one front panel, one back panel, we make 2 arms, and we start then by connecting here and here. That's what we do first, and then we connect the arms here, and then finally we sew it together here. All right. So that's just to give you an idea of how we work to make the sweater. So for this project, I chose this very special Egyptian cotton called, I think in English it's mercerized, 100% mercerized Mako cotton, which is Egyptian and has this kind of shiny, glossy finish, and it's of very good quality. You can actually wash it up to 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think it's a very useful and good quality yarn to use for a project like this. And I'm using the hook size 6mm or J10. So I'm using quite a thick hook. Of course, you could use a smaller hook as well, but I prefer this size for this project. But of course, you choose the yarn you have available, and it might make a small difference in the size, of course, but that's just really up to you which yarn you choose to use for your project. We start by making a slip knot, and then we will make a chain of 70 chains. Once you have your 70 chains, you will start by making a star stitch. So you will yarn over and you will insert your hook not here but here. Yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through, secure, And then you end up with some space here, and this is where you insert your hook the first time. So you do 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. You will have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through and secure. If you are unsure about how to make the star stitches or double crochets, you can just check the link that I will put up so you can practice before you start on your sweater. Okay, we will make a few more together. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. And here I don't insert my hook through more than 1 strand of yarn. You can see here, this is my second, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 and secure. One more. 1, 2, and don't forget this one. Sometimes I forget it and then you lose count. It gets messy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and pull through and secure. So you continue making your star stitches, and we will meet again when you have made 31 star stitches. And then we will start working with the bottom of the sweater, the frills. I made 31 star stitches, and I'm ready to work with the edge, the frill, which looks like this. And we will do single crochets, and we will do back loop only, but this is the first row, so it will be only 1 loop to go through anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When done with the 6th, you make a turning chain and you flip your work. And now we do 6 single crochets, but we do back loop only, which is here. So usually you would go through here, but in this case you will only insert your hook here. That gives this really nice ribbed look. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when going back up again, we will do half double crochets all the way up. So there will be 2 half double crochets per star stitch. So keep in mind always that your first half double crochet going back up again will be into a hole looking like this. And then the next one will be here, and then here in this space, and here. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over and pull through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And since we have a total of 70 chains, you will then have 6 single crochets down here, and then you will have 64 double crochets going back up again. And it's quite important to do the counting so you don't lose your counts and your work will become uneven. So continue doing your half double crochets, and I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of row 2 and doing my half double crochets, and actually when you reach the end it's quite hard to tell that you need to place one more stitch. So I already did a count, so I'm totally sure I'm missing one, and it's actually all down here. It's a little bit confusing. It doesn't look like it, does it? So it's easy to forget, and then you will again lose count, right? Here we go. Turn your work, and you're done with row 1 and 2. So what we will do now is make another row of star stitches, and you place your first star stitch already here. So you start by making a half double crochet, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which gives you 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through. Okay, so you continue placing 31 stars, and we will meet again down here. I reached the end of row 3. I have 1 star stitch left, and a good way to know is by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I know that these 6 will be single crochet back loop only, and I need only 2 more stitches to make the last star. So then I know it's the correct amount of stitches left. If not, you are able to correct by making, let's say, only 5 loops on your hook to correct, so that you have 6 left in case you did something wrong, or you make 7 loops on the hook just to correct. Most important is that you always keep 6 single crochets right here. But if you have to do some corrections now and then, it's fine. You don't need to get back to start and do it all over again, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. If you find it hard to know when to start placing your half double crochets when you go back up again, feel free to use a stitch marker and just put it here so that you know when you are going back up again where to make your first half double crochet. Okay, so we do 6 single crochet in the back loop only. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Turning chain. Flip your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as I said earlier, you are supposed to start your first half double crochet, the first of 64, into a space looking like this. So you will repeat what you did last round or last row of half double crochets. You will place from here 64 half double crochet, and then I will meet you at the end again. Okay, I'm at the end of the row, and it doesn't look like it, but I actually still have 2 half double crochets left to place. So this is 63 and this is 64. So what I recommend you to do for next round is actually to place a stitch marker to help you find your last stitch. Let me just turn around first. It's easier to place the stitch marker after. For this row, we will do half double crochets, but we will do back loop only. Like this. And now I recommend you to add your stitch marker, so you will easily know next time. And it also kind of prevents you from keeping counting all the time. But do count now and then to double check. Okay, so this row 1, 2, 3, 4, row 5 is half double crochet, back loop only. And that's what gives you this nice knitted look. I can show you here on my, it gives you this in between the stars. Okay, continue placing your half double crochets, 64, and then you remember to place 6 single crochets to make the ribbing. And then I will meet you again for next row. For this row, which is row 6, after placing your 6 single crochets, back loop only, you start again by making half double crochets the normal way, which means no back loop only, but through both loops. So for row 6, you will do half double crochets the normal way, and then for row 7, you will go back down again, doing like this with the back loop only, and then one more row with half double crochets before you start doing your star stitches again. And that's the repetition of the pattern. So keep on doing your regular half double crochets for row 6, and then you do row 7 will be half double crochet back loop only, and then one last row, which is row 8, with normal half double crochets before you start all over again with your star stitches. And this is something you will repeat a few more times depending on the size of your the size you prefer. But for this one, I've repeated it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times. So once you're done with your 5th row of 2 star stitches, you will finish off. But just continue now to placing your the repetitive rows of half double crochets, back loop only half double crochets, and star stitches until you get the desired size of your sweater. I'm making my one quite snug, so I would say this is size small, medium. All right, good luck, and I'll see you soon. To finish off your front panels and your back panels, what you do is you repeat these 1 till 8 4 times, and then you add 2 rounds of star stitches. That means 1 row with star stitches, 1 row with a half double crochet, and then another row of star stitches. And to finalize, you do half double crochets, and you will end up here. Before you cut the yarn, leave a long strand of yarn. I'd recommend twice the length of your front and back panel, so you can use this to assemble later. Okay, so we will continue with the arms. With the arms, we start by making the cuffs first. And how we do it is we work with 6 single crochets back loop only. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we add 7 for a turning chain. And then we do single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, There you go. A turning chain, and then we do back loop only. And you, for my size, which is quite small, I do 28 rows of single crochet. So you make the size you like, but I do think they become a little bit loose after wearing a while. They do stretch, so I do prefer to make my cuffs quite snug, but of course I also want to be able to pull them up a little bit, but this is up to you. So I do 28 rows, and when we're done with that, we will meet again. I have now 28 rows of half double crochets, and if you're not sure how to count, it's quite easy, because this will be the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So make sure you have 28 rows, and then you will place 28 single crochets. So just for the first one, we make an extra chain, and then you start. And I actually prefer, instead of going in here in this big space, I prefer to go underneath. It will make it a little bit more solid. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So place your 28 single crochets, and then we will start making the stars together. Okay, and the last stitch can be a little bit tricky to find. Here it is. Last one turning chain and flip your work, and we will start making our stars, which we do exactly the same way as we did with the front and back panel. Yarn over, insert your hook into the first space here, like so, connect, insert your hook, and if you follow my size, you will end up with as much as 13 stars for your first row. And with the arms, you will finish every row with a half double crochet. So go ahead and place all your 13 stars, and then I will see you at the end of this row. When you have 13 stars, you should have 1 stitch left, and that's where you place a regular half double crochet. Then you make a turning chain, turn your work, and you do your regular half double crochets, 28 of those, and then turn your work and you do half double crochet back loop only. So I think the only difference with the arms compared to your front and back panel is that I only do 1 row of stars instead of 2. So it will look more or less like this. And we will do several rows of the same repetition before we start increasing, and you will get wider arms, and you will end up with 50 stitches. Of course, if you want to make the arms larger, you just add more stitches in your cuffs. Just make sure you use even numbers. So to avoid making this tutorial too long, instead of doing this along with you, I will just give you all the row numbers and telling you what to do, when to increase. So next time I'll see you, you are done with both your arms, back and front panel, and then we will start assembling together. So good luck with the arms. Well done, you made it this far. So the total width for my size small medium front and back piece is 45 centimeters or 18 inches. For the shoulders, I measure about 10 centimeters or 4 inches on both sides of the shoulders, which is leaving an opening of about 25 centimeters or 10 inches for the neck. This is for your reference, so remember to adapt it to how you want it to fit your body type. Remember before you start sewing those two pieces together that they should be with the inside out. So you're working from the wrong side. When sewing those two pieces together, I recommend you to insert your needle into both loops, not only one, but both loops. And if you used a stitch marker, you just continue sewing together until you reach your stitch marker and then repeat on the other side. Now for the arms, feel free to measure, but I prefer to just eyeball it more or less by finding the middle point of the arm by folding the arm. And then you will just repeat what you've done already. You use your stitch markers and you start sewing the pieces together, and again working with the inside out, and insert your needle underneath two loops on both pieces when sewing it all together. When you're done with the arm, fold your sweater, and again still remember to work from the inside out, and you sew it together either from the cuffs down to the waistline or from the waistline and all the way up to the cuffs. That's really up to you. And you use the exact same technique as you used on the shoulders and the arms. Crocheting the neckline is actually really up to you. You can leave it as it is, which actually also looks really, really pretty, or you can start making the ribbing for the neckline as well. Now, if you choose to do this, you will have to place 80 single crochets around the neckline in total, which means 40 on each side. When done with your 80 single crochets, we will start making a chain of 5 plus 1 turning chain. Now for the first row, you will just place 5 single crochets like normal. But for the ribbing, you will continue placing every single crochet in the back loop only, like you've done before. Now make sure you count now and then, because actually the last stitch is really hard to see. And when you're done with the row and before turning, you will slip stitch 2. Skip those 2 slip stitches before you start or continue with your 5 single crochets back loop only until you reach the last row, and I will see you again there. A big, big, big congratulations to you. You made it. I'm really hoping that you are happy with your project and that you liked my tutorial. If you did, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment if you have any questions or feedback at all. I would love to hear from you. If you are ready for a new project, click on the link in the top right corner and it will take you to my tutorial where I will teach you how to make my sedge stitch sweater with puffy sleeves. It's super, super cool and not difficult at all. So thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I really, really hope that I will see you again very, very soon in one of my other tutorials. Thank you.